Fate Strange Fake Episode 9 is officially live and it's absolute straight fire. To the 500 brothers out there, smash that like and subscribe button to support the shop. Now let's get into it. With the spawning of Avenger Alcides, this battlefield is officially gatekept, mere mortals have zero chance of hopping in. Catching the vibe, young man Flat immediately dropped his servant, Jack the Ripper, into the fight. To clean up the mess caused by Pale Rider, Alcides came out looking gigachad riding a three-headed hell husky. His only objective is to delete Pale Rider's master and finish off little Tsubaki, who's currently groaning in the hospital. At this point, Alcides has Alt F4 D his soul into a black hole of hatred. Even though he knows the target is just a weak little girl with zero combat power, he's staying cold-blooded with no emotions. The scene is already trap-maxing, 500 police brothers are camping everywhere, and servants from other factions are also pulling up to lurk and watch. Alcides only needs to land one casual hit to deal destructive tier damage. He doesn't even main normal humans, he just lets his mount out to clear the NPC mobs blocking the way. A few cops lunged in to block him, but in a blink, the Hell Husky bit them into the afterlife on the spot. Suddenly, one basic tier cop bravely rushed out and started spamming bullets at the Husky's face, but there was no main character miracle, the guy got deleted too. Meanwhile, Alcides stood on high ground not even giving a damn about that. He drew his bow and sniped a lightning-fast arrow, ready to gift a one-way ticket out to Tsubaki's hospital room. The dead apostle jester, who was eavesdropping nearby, started seething and grinding his teeth in pure saltiness. Instantly, the water towers burst open, and the water flowed out like it had a mind of its own to parry the death arrow that was lunging in. Alcides whiffed the first hit and immediately prepared to double-tap with a second. But just as he was drawing the bowstring taut, a human spear came flying in and interrupted his flow. He paused, looking clueless as hell at his Hell Husky. Turns out he'd been getting finessed by Jack's clones this whole time. Even so, an army as thick as ants rushed in to act as meat shields, leaving the 28 monster squad standing there with a massive question mark, wondering why these spawned-in brothers were so obsessed with inting and feeding their lives away. They quickly checked the VAR, not only were there a ton of them, but every single one of them had the exact same face. Turns out they were all sock puppet clones launched by the berserker Jack the Ripper. The Hell Husky didn't bother overthinking or analyzing the situation, it just kept spawn killing and shredding the clones that kept popping up in front of it. With just one glance, Jack read the lore on Alcides' true identity. Even though the old head was currently wearing a dark and edgy hatred filter, that innate divine energy was a dead giveaway that he was a legendary great hero everyone knows. Too bad he's also anti-god now, literally self-destructing his divine status to demote himself to human rank. And since he's officially a basic mortal, he's automatically on site for Jack the Ripper's management. Jack hadn't locked in the name yet, so he casually trolled him, saying a heroic spirit who can order a three-headed helldog around probably isn't the god Hades, right? Daring to put Alcides in the same category as the gods made the revenge-thirsty old man feel seriously disrespected. In a blink, he teleported right in front of Jack. But Jack didn't flinch at all, because Alcides had already humbled himself by identifying as a human. Jack pointed the gun at himself, the bullet went bang, and he revealed his giga-sized real form. After a little warm-up skirmish, Jack realized on his own that with his current UI, there was zero chance of clapping back against the great hero of the past. So the guy decided to turn on serious mode and unleash his full power. Standing in the middle of this crowded city center, Jack is straight up outdiffing everyone. His noble phantasm literally draws energy from the anxiety and fear of the humans nearby like a portable charger. The denser the population within a 5-kilometer radius, the more cracked his combat power becomes. Drop him in an urban area and he's vibing with top-tier strength, plus a super scary assassin passive specifically designed to farm humans. Alcides usually isn't free to pull a draw against a literal who, so he asked for a name. Jack stayed muted, only focusing on channeling mana to launch his noble phantasm. The noble phantasm popped off, turning the battlefield into a straight-up hellscape, with Jack the Ripper transforming into the demon running the show. At this point, Alcides had already said goodbye to the gods and switched lanes to be a human, so he accidentally fell right into Jack's pixel-perfect hunting zone. This dark mode version of Jack is insanely OP. After revealing his true form, he soloed Alcides in an even 1v1, and with just one hit, he slapped the Hell Husky so hard it almost logged out permanently. Just as both sides were getting heated and ready to go full send, a golden rain suddenly started falling from the sky. Even though this attack couldn't escape the no-damage smoke law, Gilgamesh had officially graced them with his presence, landing with the main character energy that no one can match. The mobs automatically cleared out. Gate of Babylon was turned up to max capacity, and a rain of weapons poured down hardstyle, interrupting the combat and pushing this mess to a whole new level of drama. Alcides immediately ghosted Jack, because a true heavy hitter knows they have to lock in and swing at someone even stronger. Facing Gilgamesh's skill-spamming rain, Alcides dodged smoothly with zero effort. Gilgamesh got even thirstier as the fight went on, increasing his attack speed non-stop. Alcides was fast as lightning, using the city terrain to parkour and dodge skills without breaking a sweat, before casually sniping an arrow toward the hospital. The perfect timed spawn of Saber Richard successfully tanked the hit and intercepted Alcides' arrow aimed at Tsubaki. On the next roof over, a female assassin was also camping and watching the play. The second Richard arrived, he completely broke the tense as hell vibe. Without a single clue what was going on, the guy just passed the vibe check on Jack, decided he was a good person, and tried to recruit him for a squad. Then his brain connected the dots and he locked in a deal to have Sigma ship Ayaka to the church to seek refuge and stay safe. Switching scenes for a bit, after Sigma safely shipped Ayaka to the church, the guy and the female assassin started plotting a mission to rescue Tsubaki. The two of them have the same objective, but their reasons are built different. The assassin is doing it for the faith maxing to save others, while Sigma is doing it because he relates to her tragic tear-traumatized childhood. Back to the hot zone, Richard stayed behind to gatekeep them from deleting Tsubaki. Initially, he tried to duo queue with Jack to crush the delusional old man Alcides first, but Jack ratioed him with a cold refusal. Jack flexed hard, saying he could solo this guy, and told Richard to go over there and block the gold-plated Gilgamesh. The two locked in the deal instantly and split up the combat duties. The fated double matchup officially kicked off. On one side, it was a solo showdown between Saber and Archer. Richard turned on combat mode, staring straight at Gilgamesh who was hovering in the air. Gilgamesh felt disrespected by the direct eye contact, so he opened his gate of Babylon and started spamming weapons down on Richard like a literal thunderstorm. Facing this rain of premium toys, Richard didn't flinch at all. In fact, he was low-key hyped and geeked out. He had zero chance of clapping back, so he just focused on movement maxing to dodge skills and parrying the shots. As soon as the firing slowed down, Richard even started simping and praising Gilgamesh's weapons for being top tier and infinite supply. The absolute legend even had the audacity to offer to pay cash to buy back items from Gilgamesh's treasury. Gilgamesh heard that and was frozen like glue, unable to process how a low-tier mob could bark that loud. The two legends called a temporary truce. Gilgamesh peeped Richard's movement maxing and instantly picked up the vibe that this guy had a criminal record of throwing hands with his day one bestie, Enkidu. So, the billionaire granted him the favor of answering a question, interrogating him to see if he had actually clashed with Enkidu before. Richard proudly flexed that not only had he fought Enkidu, but the two of them were super compatible and had already locked in a bestie alliance. But Gilgamesh just pouted and threw shade, saying Enkidu's taste in people had fallen off tragically. Anyone daring to claim they're Enkidu's ally is officially getting on-site smoke from Gilgamesh. So Gilgamesh decided to roll up his sleeves and test the waters with Richard one more time. Gilgamesh declared that if Richard survived this trial and was still breathing, he'd recognize him as Enkidu's ally and officially promote him to the rank of Gilgamesh's enemy. As soon as he finished yapping, even more Gate of Babylon portals spawned in, glowing with that main character Imperial aura. Seeing this power-tripping display, Richard kept up the simp energy on the outside, but internally, he'd already turned on serious mode to go full send. Switching to the other table, the matchup between Alcides and Jack suddenly had a massive plot twist. Old man Alcides was still casually handing out LS to the dark mode version of Jack. Even though Alcides' arrows could easily skewer and drill a giga-sized hole in Jack's chest, those were all just sock puppet clones he created. Thanks to being recharged with mana from Master Flat, he had enough juice to multi-box over 500 identical clones. But just when Jack was feeling himself and thought he had the championship trophy in the bag, the drama hit him with a painful tear blow. Right as Jack was struggling to get up for a counterattack and the dust cleared, the squad saw Alcides had already yoinked Jack's head with just one hand. Being forced to pull a move like this was a first-time experience for Alcides. The ultimate move, 12 Glories, Reincarnation Pandora, EX rank, was officially activated, and the effect is straight-up yanking the opponent's noble phantasm. This game-breaking hack officially left Jack frozen like glue and defeated in a heartbeat. All his efforts to clutch or save some dignity were just mid-insult in the ocean. The deal was sealed. The streets suddenly went dead silent. Jack's noble phantasm territory had been snatched by old man Alcides in a flash. Police Chief Orlando, who was lurking from a distance, saw the giga-stressful plot twist and immediately spammed the cancel button on the mission, shouting for the 500 brothers to retreat and save their K/D. He finally woke up and realized the next battlefield wasn't a place for basic mortals to be clowning around. However, Officer John, who was currently possessed by his justice-maxing ideals, stayed stubborn and brave, choosing to gatekeep and stand his ground right in front of Alcides. This play was beyond saving. The guy faced the consequences of his impulsive energy with a one-way ticket to a new life respawn. Episode 9 officially wraps up here. Brothers, remember to smash that follow button to catch the straight-fire drama in the next episode.